Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello
Where are we at?
again. We are at the cave in the mountains, so we are going underground.
We're going underground?
Yeah.
Well, what kind of glasses you wearing over here? You getting all fancy on me?
Oh, well, Valentino gave it to me. So
Oh, Valentino gave it to you, eh?
I gotta make good use of it.
Yeah,
Smokes.
she's wearing some fancy $250 glasses.
Oh,
That's what
holy
she's doing. Yeah.
Smokes. Well, let's go check out. I think I see some signage up there. Let's go read a little bit and see what we got to do and how far it possibly is. So let's go take a look.
Yep.
So here you guys can see, welcome to Cave of the Mountains National Landmark. So apparently they have all kinds of very interesting caves in here. So we're going to be going in there. It looks like a pretty long cave. It was built, it looks like discovered on August 4th, 1939, it looks like. Nice. So I guess I didn't bring a jacket. So, ooh, look at that cave right there. Wow. That's just beautiful, eh? Yikes. So, let's go in there before they close and explore it, right? We got the entrance right here. It is just a bit of a problem. They don't allow tripods or monopods or any of that. I don't even know if do we have to pay entrance fee here?
Yes.
Okay, so I guess we'll have to go up there and check in and all of that stuff. So hopefully they do allow my, camera. So I brought the wide angle lens because that one lets in a lot of light, because I can just imagine it's going to be dark in there. So I guess they have some sort of concert or musical thing going on later on yet. But yeah, let's go I guess pay our dues and then we'll go in there and see how far of a walk it is. I don't even know all about that. Yeah, get your tickets. Oh yeah, cave tour tickets. Yeah, so I guess we got to go in that building right there, get our tickets. Oh, that's probably a gift shop up there. And then we probably have to go down there.
And there's a beer garden if you want
There's
a
a beer garden down there?
No,
Well,
over there or somewhere. I saw a beer garden.
We might not check that one out. And if we do, we won't tell you about it.
Yeah.
Take a look at these shiny rocks. Aren't they beautiful? I think they are. We just got our tickets. So they do have some strict rules up here. So you can see it's going to be cold in there. Not allowed to bring any kind of tripod or anything like that. So yeah, we got our tickets and they're going to be a tour guide up there. So we got to wait a couple of minutes. So which is fine, Then they can explain everything. And I guess they got some cut rocks that they have here for sale, I guess. I don't know. I don't even know if they're actually for sale or not, but for display, how they do. So they have some bigger rocks here. Oh, look at those rocks down there. Yeah. Oh, I like these ones here with the white color. That looked like these white crystals up here. Take a look at that. Oh, they're like, oh yeah, look at that. That must be like from when the snails died in there and stuff like that. All the markings in there. That's really neat. But I really like these crystals up here. That is cool. They got purple ones? Where? Oh, look at that. Even a little bit of bluish crystals here as well. Wow. That's amazing. Where did you see the... Oh, yeah, here's some purple ones. This is really cool. I don't know how good it's coming through on the camera, but those look really nice. Holy smokes. Yikes. That is amazing. $499 for that big one right there. Which, in all reality, that's not that crazy bad. But yeah, wow, that is just absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, so let's go and see where we have to wait for our tour guide. It looks like they're going to be coming up there in a few. And then we'll go for our little tour. Take a look at this beautiful rock formation. Whoa, that is just insane. I'm guessing they found these in here. That's Hajia farm. You can actually buy smaller versions of this inside the store there, which just looks amazing. Can't wait till we go inside the cave. Gotta wait another 15 minutes and we'll go with a tour guide.
The discovery. So the land, that beautiful land outside, that was discovered in 1828. I shouldn't say discovered, it was settled. It was settled by a man named Ebenezer Brigham. He came from Massachusetts. He came for the lead rush. Okay, you might have heard of the California gold rush. Well, we had a lead rush here. He came for that. However, what's interesting, he had no idea this cave was on his land. Okay, so they found this cave by accident. All right, so August 4th, 1939, they put about this basically was a small town quarry. So you're right, they were blasting this limestone to build roads.
That as well. Right?
No, this was just a gift shop up here. But
Oh,
like
I
right
thought this was like where they have a hole or something.
they have
Right? Like a hole that.
Yeah, this is the hole. Yeah.
Okay.
So yep, this is the hole. So this gift shop wasn't there. But at 11 in the morning, August 4th, 1939, they put about a ton of dynamite right where you're standing. They blasted, and then you're right, that hole opened up right along
Oh,
here.
so they were just right in the. So like this is two different caves, or sorry.
Yeah, no, there is an area that there is another cave, but it's very small. So no, so basically there's this right here. It kind of opened up, and it opened up down here too. So okay. This right here where the gift shop is, that course wasn't there. This was still a small town quarry. They weren't mining it, they were just blasting to build roads. Okay, so they put that dynamite there, their supervisor, it blasted, it opened up to South Cave. Now the men weren't expecting to run into a cave, okay? They had no idea it was here. So they were excited, they wanted to go explore, right? Well, their supervisor mentioned to them that they basically should wait 3 days before heading in, okay? Because of safety reasons, things were settling. Well, they didn't want to wait. They ended up maybe waiting 3 hours, and then they headed in. So they basically grabbed their ladders, their ropes, their flashlights from town, and they headed in to see South Cave. So this is what they probably first saw just in the darkness right there. South Cave. Now they also, and we'll be going by the other formations, they also saw some other formations. So we have stalagmites right there. Stalagmites are basically minerals that have been dripping for thousands of years, right here. And creating that, the tallest one is about 17 feet high. Then they also have stalactites. So stalactites look like icicles, but they're actually calcite deposits from that fissure. See this crack in the ceiling here. So anytime it rains, snows, or just groundwater drips, it starts building up those minerals. It pulls the minerals down with the water. And then the men saw the rest of the cave. This is a really good shot if you want to shot a photo right here. And then we'll be heading down into the cave. Now there's only one entrance right here. So I always say we don't have bats. We don't have, I always say raccoons running around or anything like that. So they have to buy a ticket to get in, okay? There's no natural entrance. We only have one animal in the cave, and that's called a springtail. And that springtail, it just floats on the water. It's very tiny, and I'll point it out to you. So, any other questions? I might end up answering them too along the way. So, yeah. All right, so I'm gonna shut off the lights. Let's see, like this. All right, I'm gonna head down, use the steps and the railing. Now we'll be coming up this way out, but I joked, I would say it's our dungeon. No, but it's not. It's not. Use your imagination though. A lot of times these formations, they look like people, they look like animals, they look like food. This one always reminds me of a little man on a stool right here, kind of kneeling down. This very tall one is 17 feet high. In the summer, and especially days like this, kids love to think of it as ice cream. In the fall, a lot of times this looks like gravy. So.
Or a chocolate fountain.
Or chocolate. Let's think of chocolate. I like that better. Lots better. Yeah.
This looks like a melting ice cream.
Yep. So we have these little cracks here. It's because of the weight. Basically, after years, think of the minerals dripping, thousands of years dripping down and building up. And as it shifts, it basically has cracked. Now we monitor that, but we'll be following that fissure in the ceiling right here all the way throughout our whole tour. So here you go. All right.
Why are the stalagmites green under the UV light? The black light.
That is, so what you're seeing when it's greenish tones, that's calcite. The purple tones can be manganese. It's basically the particles, the protons are just interacting with the UV. It warms it up and they start activating. So what we're gonna look for though is our largest fossil. Our largest fossil in the cave is right above your head, right here. Right here to here. This is a shell. From tip to tip, it's about almost 6 feet long. And the legs would have been here. Basically, this was called a cephalopod. That shell would go on the head of an ancient squid.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is basically what it would have looked like right here. So that shell would have been on the head. This is like a squid. Yep. So now the cephalopod, this one was probably about 12 feet long. They could grow to be about 40 feet. Yeah. And you might be wondering, well, what is a squid or cephalopod doing in our cave? So think of all these walls. They're millions of years old. Think of it as the bedrock of the sea. So 400 to 500 million years ago, the Ordovician Sea was in this area. North America was under it. So therefore we have a lot of cephalopods or squids or shellfish that were swimming around. They ended up, some of them in the limestone, so you might see some snails at times, things like that. So now when that sea dried up, then the next stage, the cave was formed. The cave wasn't formed during the time of the sea, they believe. This was probably all filled in with limestone. So when the sea dried up, the vegetation above ground like trees, grass, when that would decay, it would create carbon dioxide, creating carbonic acid. Okay. The carbonic acid, it would leak through here, right in this area. Okay, and then it would start eroding the cave out. So basically creating the cave. Now the cave is about 2 million years old. And then the formations were created. So then, once again, the minerals started dripping from the soil, from the limestone. They drip anytime it rains or snows, or groundwater drips down, and it just builds up. But what's fascinating about this is that I'm going to show you like some stalactites. Now those look really young to us, like they're small, right? But believe it or not, these are actually probably older than we are. It takes about 250 years just to form an inch. So I'll probably look at like your pinky or something like that, yeah. So if you look at these and compare them to like these, and these are thousands of years old. So, all right, your black light, if you want, take it and shine it on the wall. It's a really good wall so you can see. I have one too, so I can help out. You see a lot of the calcite coming down. It kind of looks like wax, but it's actually the mineral. And then you have the manganese. So there you go. Yeah, the manganese is the purple tones. Now what's really cool about having a black light, I can show you really quick, is, so this is one of our oldest formations right here, right in here. And the whole cave, it's about 257,000 years old. But what's unique with the black light, if you hold it up, you don't touch it, but you just warm up the calcite, it should glow. Did you see that?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, so I can do it again, it'll glow. Just gotta kind of warm it up a bit. There we go. Some will do a little bit better than others. I don't know if that one will do a little bit. Yeah, so when you go by, you can kind of practice that. There we go. Now this area over here, above ground, it's called a sinkhole. Below ground, they call it the South Cave Collapse. Okay. Now they try to explore it a little bit further, but it only goes back about 30 feet and then ends. So, but I always joke, I say the sinkhole, guess where it is? It's kind of near your cars. So when you walk up the driveway today, at the very top as you walk up the driveway, look to the left, you'll see an event sign on an old oak stump. That is where South Cave Sinkhole is. So.
Was that there before this? The people explored this, or?
It was there. Yeah, right. Yeah, yes. It was already there. So, okay. And right here we have some cephalopod, another cephalopod. This one was found in the Lancaster quarry, and they just apparently borrowed it. So we got to borrow it, or they gave it to us. So, yeah. It's kind of, so when you see different segments, it's similar to a tree. Like if you count the age of a tree by the rings, it's kind of similar. You count those segments. So, all right, we're gonna go to the meanders. The meanders is an underground river. At one point, it's all dried up now, but that also eroded the cave out. And I always say, reminds me of the sci-fi movies. So if you saw Star Wars or anything like that, it kind of feels like you're on a different planet when you go through there. So I have to switch lights around and then just wait for me.
Okay.
I'll be right with you. We're gonna be 70 feet down from the surface.
70 feet?
Yeah,
Wow.
the lowest point in the cave. There'll be a lot of good sites for the black light. Probably this area is pretty dry, so it doesn't always show the black light very well.
Yeah.
But
Watch your head.
Mm-hmm.
in June, in the month of June, it was really wet in South Cave. You could hardly stand in South Cave without getting wet.
Oh my.
Because it was raining like every other day in June. But you can tell it's been really dry fall.
Yeah.
It only rained
I didn't know it's metal.
about like maybe 3 weeks ago. So. And yeah, you can tell like these walls used to be the underground foundation of the sea or ocean too. Just gonna make sure you're making it through.
Oh yeah, just enjoying the view. Oh, I can
Yeah.
see a hole right through there.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So lots of water coming in. So about 3 weeks ago, it was raining really
Yeah.
hard on a weekend. We had almost 8 inches of rain come in.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And we have calcite up here kind of running down, so that's a mineral.
Wow.
But what's interesting is it had so much water. I've never seen it so full. This pit down here was at least halfway full of water from all the rain. But it's
Yikes.
dried up. We didn't do anything, it just has dried up.
Uh-huh.
Soaked in the earth and dried up. We also have water coming through this area. Right here is like a little pool of water coming through and kind of running down.
Look at that.
Oh, there's
Oh,
the light, darn it.
straight up there.
Oh my, yeah.
That little
Just watch
glowing-
your head.
One pointed.
You can see over there, there's just a little bit water left. There's a little pool. They had like a river kind of running into there from the rain. So,
Oh,
yeah,
down
there's a
there.
little bit of water right
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Right, yep.
Right in there, yeah.
Yep, there's a little river kind of
Nice.
running that way.
Another cave down there. Look at that crack all the way up
We're gonna
there.
head on up.
Head on up. Okay. Look at that. There's like actual water.
Cave effect.
Drops right down there.
The being dark. Yeah, you can kind of see even like the formations that way.
Oh yeah,
The
you
dark.
can, yeah. Look at that, eh? The light is shining through, you can even see.
That light always reminds me of a cat. Or something,
Mhm.
an animal.
Whoa.
So, just watch your head through here. We're gonna go through this way. Alright, we'll just have you kind of line up along the wall. I'll talk in here. Yeah, so at one point, you can see down in here, it was all crumbled out. I'm sure the river was through here too. So we made it up from meanders that was 7 to 8 feet down. This is the platform we originally were standing on, but this is still considered like the full discovery site, right in this area. So, 1939 it was discovered. By May of 1940, they had it opened up for tourism. Okay.
It's still dripping.
Yeah,
Time
yeah.
to time.
You can tell. You can tell with the little divots too.
Oh, those are from it?
Yeah, from water, or it could even be some of the, if there's, I don't know if it's carbonic acid, but yep. Yeah. Yeah. Yep, there's water pretty much all the time in the cave at some point. So it took a banker and a musician in the 1940s. When they were completed with their job for the day, they would come here and clear out the pathways. Yeah, to get it ready for tourism.
How long did that take?
I don't think it took that long. What they had to do originally when they first blasted, they actually had to kind of fill it in so people would not be going into the cave. You know, because people, once they found out there's a cave, you might have people coming in, you know, vandalizing, things like that. So we filled it in for a bit, but then they opened it up in the spring, and that's, I think it took like 3 to 5 months or something to open, to actually clear out. Yeah. So they worked really hard. Like, they did their day job, they came from 5 to midnight, cleared out the pathways. Now, they had this vision that people would actually come to the cave, right? This was happening in the 1940s. Realized people were coming out of the Depression at that time.
Yes.
And so finally people could go on vacation. But many of the townspeople weren't too sure of that. They thought, well, I don't know how many people come to a cave. Well, their vision was correct, because when they first opened, May of 1940, they had, within the first 27 weeks, they had about 60,000 people come. Yeah, and people would come in. If you heard a military trail, that used to be a railroad tracks, and people would come.
Yep.
Yeah, from Chicago, from Milwaukee, and then they'd be dropped off and they'd walk over to the cave. So, all right. Now, I also joke, I kind of try to make this relatable. I say, how many of you have had your carbonic acid today?
Oh, soda?
Yes, good job. Soda. So either soda, fizzy water for adults, alcoholic drinks, things like that. Yep. So that's what actually eroded out part of the cave. So that carbonic acid, carbon. All right, we're gonna head to North Cave. I just have to shut off some lights. All right, so this tilts down a little bit. There's a railing if you need it. You want to sit, there's a bench. Okay. So, you can help me out with the black light. You can help out today, it'd be great. So you were asking about were there two caves? Well, yeah, actually there were. So, remember, they blasted right up on that platform. That platform, of course, wasn't there, but that was the discovery site. Also underneath too, because it dropped, when they blasted, it opened up everything. Okay. Now, one reason why North Cave is a little bit larger is because of that blast, but not too much. Some of it is mainly due to a second cave. We have a fissure line right here. We're gonna follow that all the way through. But we're gonna use your blue light. Let's come over here. There was a cave on this end, right here. It was smaller.
Oh yeah, the water.
Right here. So there's a fissure line right here. Yeah. And it joined up with the other one. So basically there were two caves. There's this one to the left, this one to the right, and this one divided, this right here divided. But that fell in actually before they even blasted, before they even discovered the cave. And it filled in this area all the crumbling. So now what's cool over here too, you can also make bases. Go in here, make bases. I don't know, I make little hearts, but that's just me. You can do that if you want. Stay right here, I'm gonna put the light on. So this is what we call flowstone coming down. It's calcite. Basically, it's a calcite that's been dripping from that fissure all the way down. Now, they call it flowstone, and it looks like it would be really fun. All these kids think it'd be fun to slide down. But we've been told that it basically would feel like sandpaper sliding down that. Yeah, it wouldn't feel very good. Now, what you see in the blue-gray in the back, that is manganese. Okay, don't mix it up with magnesium. It's manganese. Okay, so manganese is the blue-gray. We have some blue-gray up here. We call this on the ceiling ribbon stalactite. It's a formation. It basically looks like a wave or a ribbon, and we have a bunch of them kind of along the wall. It's basically the way the water's dripping down, kind of making waves. Now, you guys have been here before, so you know. Do you know the nickname for it? It's a breakfast food for ribbon stalactite. Yes, there you go. The nickname for ribbon stalactite, it's called cave bacon. Oh, kind of looks like cave bacon. So, if you go to other caves and ask for their cave bacon, you'll know what you're talking about. Okay. So, if you like animals, we don't have animals, but we have formations. So we have a little otter on a pillow, what we call Sammy, or we call him Sammy the seal, right in the flowstone. And if you like reptiles, you have this little dome here that looks like a snake's head, a tongue. Looks like our anaconda. It goes all the way naturally back. Yeah, it's amazing what nature can do. That was probably created from sulfuric acid. At one point it was bubbling up and creating the domes. So, all right, and Norwegian folklore, if you put your hand up, it looks like a hand on the ceiling, like a thumb and a couple fingers. We are near Mount Horeb, and Mount Horeb is known for trolls. So we oftentimes say, troll is holding up the cave. That is our folklore. Okay. This area is a good example of what the men would have had to climb through. They have a lot of the limestone, a lot of formations, but I'm sure there's lots and lots and lots more limestone. And their supervisor wasn't too keen on them going in right away. And the main reason is because there are drop-offs. This one, it goes 25 feet down. So if you were climbing through this and you didn't know it was there, you could have dropped 25 feet. So you can look. There's a light over there. Just don't drop your phones or cameras.
I hear water droplets.
Yeah. That side, so in order to get over there, you have to actually go through there and down. Well, that's the day of climbing. So, for your black light, when you're going up, you can use it on the walls along through this area. This is the second, what we call sinkhole up here. We have a second sinkhole, and we actually have a trail above ground that you can actually walk on it. So, and then of course we call it a collapse, because all the rocks collapsed at one point. But what's so unique about this is that we actually have what they call the painted waterfall. So the painted waterfall is on the other side, so we're going to go check it out. Just watch your head around the corner. I'll put a light on so eventually.
Oh, yeah. Let's do that first. So you're talking about the manganese.
So I'll eventually put the light on, but what I like to do is show you with the lights off first, with the black lights, because this is really pretty. You actually, right above your head, with the black lights, you can see a lot of stalactites. And as I go back, you can see a lot of what we call the chandeliers.
Oh, wow.
So if you want to use your black light, you can show us too. So wherever you want to go.
What's the red color that's over here?
Oh, that's the iron? Yep. So that's the other mineral. So, yep. So the green, for the black light, green tones are the calcite, purple is the manganese. All right, there you go. So you have the iron coming down, brown. We have a little bit more of that cave bacon right above your head, my flashlight. Yeah. And then we have some manganese right above our head here, that blue gray. What's really neat too is also we have what we call cave coral right across here. So at one point the water level, you can see a water line. At one point the water line was really high. We didn't drain this, it just lowered on it by itself. But it has the formations of cave coral. It wasn't a living entity, just a formation. Now, this is where we try to look for those springtails, because they're about the size of a grain of salt. Literally, it'll look white, like little white specks on the water. Yeah, little white specks on the water. There's a bunch over here, there's some over there. There's one right there. There's a couple. They're kind of spread out. Here's a bunch over here. Some might be lind, but most of it are the white specks are the springtails. So, oh, we got a bunch way over here. They've been hiding today. So right in this area. Now, if you want to see what they look like, there is a picture. So it's considered an animal, not an insect. They use their tail to swim, but they rarely move. You rarely see them moving. They come in through the water. The water drips down, they end up in the pool, and then they hang out and eat the bacteria. Yeah.
So they're naturally part of the cave?
Correct, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so this area we call our chandelier area, and then it goes into what we call the cathedral area. Yeah, so we call this cathedral because it looks like a pipe organ. But what's also unique is that we actually have weddings in the cave. You can have a cave wedding. Our last one was in May, and it was perfect. The weather outside was raining, thunderstorm. It was nice in the cave. The candles, you had a violin. And we always joke, we say your wedding can start off at a rock solid start.
What's your year?
So we will go through here. So this cave, the tour, it's set up like a figure 8.
Okay, alright.
So we did one loop, we're gonna do the other loop and come out that way.
Awesome.
Yeah. So you can also use your black light right over here. So if you want to use it to kind of heat up the calcite, you can do that. Yeah. We also, right along in here, can use your light, black light. Let me heat that up a bit. It glows a little bit, but not, it doesn't hold it long. So, all right.
You got drip down?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, did I tell you those are called cave kisses? They are officially called cave kisses. And if you get one on your head, it's supposed to be good luck.
Cool.
So, now this area right here, we have a lot of stalactites that look like they're broken. And so people often ask, well, did the tourists in the 1940s break those off? That's a possibility, okay? They might have. But geologists actually feel what happened is when the glaciers were melting about 12 miles away, because this area where we're standing is called the driftless area, so there's no glacier. But they still think the glaciers, when they were melting, there was so much water that it came rushing through the cave, broke a lot of the stalactites. They think it broke this one off because this big one used to be on the ceiling. And this one we call Polly the parrot. She looks like a formation of a bird. She is about 2,000 years old. So, and I can actually kind of illuminate her a little bit more too if you want me to.
No, I go from behind.
I go right here.
Yeah, it's much better.
Kind of glows. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. And we can't forget our little penguin.
Oh,
Pete the penguin with a little beak and eyeball and knapsack.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's our little cave explorer over here. All right. So we are going to be heading through the Narrows. Now the Narrows is very narrow.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to have to go sideways. Watch your head. It will open up. And if you feel like you're getting stuck, just bend your knees a little bit more and walk sideways. So it will open up. There is some water on each side.
Is the water rushing thing you said the same thing with the horizon? Or
It's just,
because they have like a flat top.
yeah.
These ones.
Oh, this right
Yeah.
here. This one was probably cut off a bit. You know, after years of just being there, like it probably broke it. It probably broke off from the water. So you can tell this is a stalactite because it looks like a straw thing. They start off on the ceiling like a straw usually. So, and then it makes a hole. Now the stalagmites are just mounds.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So that went from all the way to the ceiling to the ground?
Yeah. Yep. They think water broke it off, flipped it over, and then it started forming this.
Oh.
Did that make
So it's
sense?
completely upside down.
Yeah, it's upside down.
Oh. Wow.
And it's been here a while because this is about, they took the age, it's about 2,000 years old. That bird, that Polly the parrot.
Gosh.
Yeah, it could have gone here, but sometimes they think it was up there too, in that area.
Oh yeah.
So they're not too sure where it broke. But I'm gonna, let's see, I have narrows on. I have to shut down some lights. All right, so we're gonna head on in.
We ain't getting past it tonight.
Just watch your head. You might have to go sideways.
Oh, 500 pounds? That's nothing for him. Grasp on his ass.
That's a little tight. You might have to watch your head through here, but there is water in here. You might see some springtails in the water. A lot of them look like lily pads, the formations. There's probably some springtails in there. You can come on either side, whatever you're comfortable with. For the black light, I always like shining it right here because it kind of turns a green tone over here. If you actually go all the way up to it. So like right right in here.
Oh yeah, I see that. Yeah.
You can probably see those.
Yeah. Oh
It
yeah.
glows a bit. I'm gonna hold it up for a bit. Yeah. So this is our cave. Now our cave used to be huge, but it has narrowed so much. So this right here we call a column. Column is when a stalagmite and a stalactite, they meet up after thousands of years. And we've been following that fissure line. So that fissure is very linear. It's been dripping very linear, creating that. Now I was told by geologists that this flowstone is about 10 to 12 feet thick, right in this area. So you can tell how long the calcite has been dripping, a long time. So in the 1940s, I would have had to tell you to turn around, you're gonna go back, because they didn't have this cave made yet, this tunnel made yet. Okay. However, the men put their minds together and they built that tunnel, so we're gonna head into there. But do any of you guys want a photo over here first before we head in? There's a lot of light there, that's why I choose it. No? You guys good? Okay. Let's go to what they call the beauty rooms. So we're leaving the cave, we're gonna head into the tunnel. Yep, so you can spread out in here, you can take photos, you can look around.
Wow, that's beautiful.
The stone is that, it's a limestone, they just drilled it out.
Okay.
The hole, they drilled out the hole here.
Yeah.
Yep, and that's just saying they shaved that down. Yeah. So basically between 1940 and 1957, they basically drilled out this area. They opened up this window in 1946. They call it the gem room. The gem room has like a really nice column. It has a lot of cave bacon, or what we call drapery, coming down. And then they also have what they call honeycomb stalagmites on the bottom. So, right in there. That helps. A lot of people think it looks like corn on the cob right there.
That's
Yeah. And then this side over here, we call the Centennial Room. It was opened in 1948. Basically, it's called the Centennial Room because Wisconsin became a state in 1848. Yep. You can see a lot of the drill marks on the walls. Now, they did use any explosives. They didn't want to damage a cave.
Right.
So they drilled, that's why it took so long. They drilled all through here from 1940 to 1957. It took that long to just get everything out. They have a lot of the flowstone like we saw before. You can see the clear, nice clear water. Now when I mentioned it rained about 3 weeks ago, the water was actually kind of residing way in the back there. So there's a lot of water way back there, just a couple inches or so.
Is that hole here broken off, or is that also like?
This is just natural. It didn't really break off, it's just natural. But right here, yeah, it goes right underneath. So all that water is flowing underneath.
It's almost like
Isn't it really neat? Yeah, yeah.
Water's very still.
And then there is, so you see the column right here, this thick one, but if you want to see how one starts, it's way in the back there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's how they join up. So, I don't know, you can sneak in here. One way in the back. And all of that orange stuff, that's iron deposit. That is iron deposit, all orange. Yep. So there's different areas of the cave where the, it's more iron versus just the calcite and manganese. Yeah. Let's see. Yes. Okay. We're gonna go to what they call Dream River. I gotta shut this down. Okay. So Dream River. So they also drilled this all along here.
Oh.
Now with your black light, you can use it along here, all on the right side. Now the men between 1940 and 1957 weren't expecting to run into another cave. This is another cave. It's a small one, but they call it Surprise Cave.
Wow.
Because they weren't expecting to run into it. There is a fissure. You can use your black light right up here and above your head so you can look.
Does the fissure signify a cave?
Not always. Sometimes it's just a crack, like a fault line. But it helps with the fissure. It brings the water in, so this water can keep dripping and kind of feeding into the cave, creating that ecosystem in there. What's really neat, you can use your black light right here. It's my favorite part. See all those layers? Yeah, beautiful layers. And yep, right in here. And then there's a really intense one, which I love in here.
Oh yeah, I like the green colors in there. Yeah.
Really neat. You can also see a water line right in here. It's kind of neat.
Oh yeah.
So water level was pretty high real quick.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna do a little light show with the black lights. We have one up here and we have one there. We're gonna do total darkness because we have a small group. You guys up for total darkness?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So we're gonna show some of the glowing because we don't always have tours that have the black lights on them. So we're gonna show some black light. We'll let it glow and then we'll keep the lights off. So here we go. I'm gonna count up. 1, 2, 3. We'll shut that off. So that's the calcite fluorescing. Calcite and the manganese is glowing under those black lights. And then we're gonna see if we can charge it up a little bit, that calcite. See if it'll glow. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. There we go. It glows a little bit. It's not very strong. We can do it one more time. And then I'll keep the lights off. You kind of have to try to hide your camera light just for a little bit so you get that total darkness. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Do you need it on one more time or no? Nope. Okay, you are in total darkness now. We're almost there.
Yeah.
So, I always say that you basically get total darkness in a cave. Keep your light, yep, just for a little bit. Keep your lights off just for a second. Just for a second. Yeah, you get it in a cave or at the bottom of the sea. And I always joke, I say it's a little bit cheaper in a cave than heading to the bottom of the sea. Now try to wave your hand in front of your face and see if you can see it. You can't really see it very well. So if you were down here for about 20 more minutes, you might actually start hallucinating, which won't be fun. Your mind might start playing tricks on you. So I always joke, I say raise your hand if you want the lights on. There you go. All right. You can head down this way. This is the end of the cave. It's called Dream River. It takes beautiful photos. It goes back about 250 feet back. Watch for the water. You might get some cave kisses. This is a beautiful stalactite.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Oh yeah, look at
Well, that
that.
one's like
Colors up there. Oh yeah, there's water droplings down
Yeah,
there.
think of 250 years.
So like
1
1,000
inch.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. What I can do, because we have a small group, is we're going to put our black light on it. And it takes really neat photos with your phone. It'll show up like a blue tooth. Yeah. So, here we go, ready? We'll have them take some photos. You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. We're going to shut off the lights. We're going to put our black light on it.
Whoa.
And it'll show up on, like, I don't know how it'll show up on yours, but it shows up on cell phones like
Oh,
a
yeah,
a glowing blue tube.
Mhm.
So I always call it the tooth of the cave or the fang of the cave. Yeah, so it's kind of neat. Can't always, so it's nice. This is the good part about having small groups. You can actually do this in small groups. There you go. You good?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Awesome, isn't that nice? I know, I love showing that to people. So, all right. You gotta head on up because that's where the cave actually ends.
Wow.
All right.
250 feet back.
Okay.
So I don't know if you guys did you get your pictures? No, probably not yet.
Has anybody ever gone all the way back there?
Oh yeah, I mean we have maintenance that goes back there.
Oh.
They're the lucky few that get to go back there.
They just put on their rain boots and walk down there?
Probably, they've had to check, yeah.
Hmm.
So, especially when it rained too. Now it rained, like I mentioned about 3 weeks ago, they had to check like for flooding and stuff like that.
Have you guys ever sent the maintenance people to get pictures back there?
I don't know if they have. I'm sure they have though at some point. We have been open for 85 years, so I'm sure they have gone back there.
That'd be cool.
Although,
Yeah, they don't even let us go back there. So, okay. All right, so we're gonna go through High Tunnel. Now, you might be wondering what, people always ask, what is that rope going up there? So they drilled this area out. That rope is actually only there for Christmas lights. Now we have a mine shaft right here. This is where the men came down with their equipment and their lunch, and they stayed down here and then they hauled the limestone up. Now I have one last area that I'd like to show off, especially during Halloween. I say that our cave is intelligent. It can actually spell, okay? We're gonna look for the words with, W-I-T-H, with, or some people like witch, like Sam Witch. It's gonna be above the door. Use your black light, okay? Right along in here. And if you take a photo, it sometimes turns blue. Right here. W-I-T-H or W-I-C-H. Now, what's unique about this is we haven't touched this. This is a natural phenomenon right here, or anomaly. So our cave is actually communicating with us. There you go. Okay, are there any questions? Any more questions? No, made it through both of the loops. That was good. So we're gonna head on out. Just watch your head around the corner. We're coming back to where we started.